didn't test the microphone earlier. It's working! Greetings and salutes. Yes, hello! Yes, applause for all of you here tonight. It is terrific to see everybody out in the audience. Terrific faces, smiling faces. I talked to many of you. Happy to get to know you as this evening continues. Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Michie. I'm a proud 2011 digital media and journalism grad from Laurier's Brantford campus. All right. You know where Brantford is? All right, beautiful. I was going to do this whole thing with a map up here, just south. That's where we are, but we don't have to do that. Perfect. I'm going to be your host tonight, emceeing. Before we present some awards, some very special people this evening, I would like to acknowledge that Wilfrid Laurier's Waterloo, Kitchener, and Brantford campuses are located on the shared traditional territory of the Neutral and Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. This land is part of the Dish with One Spoon Treaty between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples that symbolizes an agreement to share, protect our resources, and not to engage in conflict. Laurier's Milton campus is located on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, part of the Nanfan Treaty of 1701 between the British Crown and the Haudenosaunee Peoples Confederacy. We acknowledge the land and the people who have cared for it at the time of immemorial. As we move forward, we commit ourselves to honoring this land through respectful and meaningful action. Okay, it is absolutely my honor to be with you this evening as our host of the Alumni Awards of Excellence and the Laurier Philanthropy Awards, celebrating some outstanding folks out here in this audience, donors and friends. Very happy to do this. And hey, you know what, while we're in the business of thanking people, things, companies, inanimate objects, other things of that nature, I would like to in turn thank good old Wilfrid Laurier himself, who graced this school with his name way back when. And graces my diploma as well that I got in 2011. My diploma says something to do with journalism on it, as I just mentioned, and as a journalist, I did a little bit of reading, some research before this, and I was surprised to learn that way back in 1925, it was a humdinger of an affiliation for our school. Yes, we were paired with Western University. I was very unfamiliar with this. Should I have been unfamiliar? No. No, good. That was what I wanted. Now, I thought that was an odd pairing considering our differences nowadays. Perhaps that's just mostly on the football field or lacrosse field. I was chatting with a lacrosse coach earlier, but I digress a little bit. My point here is that Laurier has never been shy about partnering with unique, smart schools and programs. And that is exactly why I wanted to go to Laurier way back when, because Laurier was partnered with Conestoga College way back in the day, and I was able to go 3 years at Laurier, Brantford, 1 year at Conestoga. And that really appealed to me, because then I felt like I could get something that would really help me take off into the journalism program. And so off I went. I took the plunge. Now, throughout those schooling years, I took a ton of great advice. I learned a ton from the faculty within Laurier. I got a ton of great support because I really wanted to do something within sports, because when I was about, let's call it 12 years old, I guess I identified that maybe I didn't have the chops to be an NHL player. Has anyone else gone through this before? I want to be in the NHL. I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do. So anyways, it wasn't going to work out for me. Math was out of the question. Could not do that. And so I said, I'm going to pursue something in sports journalism. I wanted to be a beat reporter writing for newspapers, but even back then, the industry was changing so much that I had to go somewhere that was going to give me the tools to identify different parts of the industry that would help me out. And so Laurier is what I chose. The faculty here really gave me a ton of different support and the tools that I needed to dive into the business. They gave me a Swiss Army knife full of tools thanks to the education I got here. Those learnings, or learnings, through 2007 through 2011, shot me into the journalism field. First, I was a cub reporter for a bunch of newspapers. Then, got hired part-time at Sportsnet. Then, I was full-time at Sportsnet. Been there for 14 years, where I have hosted such television programs as Sportsnet Central. I have produced such television programs as Sportsnet Central. I have hosted radio programs on the Fan 590. I have written for the Sportsnet website. I have interviewed many athlete luminaries in locker rooms, sometimes tall, sometimes small. I've done a lot at Sportsnet and also outside of Sportsnet. That includes working with the PWHL's Toronto Scepters as an in-arena host. I was given that tool because I was able to go to sports then. They helped me be able to work behind the camera, in front of the camera, in front of a huge group of fans screaming that they want a t-shirt. I'm very good at throwing out t-shirts. That I learned after I graduated school. I also went and covered the Olympics. I was on the Olympic beat in Paris in 2024 and this year in Milan in 2026. Milan, Italy, for those uninitiated. Europe. Geography as well up here. Happy to help out. If you want to come talk to me after, I'm also happy to do that. Now, when I was over in Italy, I was given the very tough assignment of covering hockey. Yes, very tough. A dream assignment for somebody such as myself, a dream assignment for many Canadian folk who want to work in sports journalism. It was a dream for a while, until I had to write a bunch of stuff about how Canada lost to the USA twice, both the women and the men. Yeah, I hear a lot of, do we have to talk about this again? Not necessarily. I'm mostly just trying to make a point. Now, I was devastated as I put the final report together on the men losing to Team USA, and that was the last thing of the Olympics. And I had to write something to the effect of, as Team USA captured monumental gold. And then I cried. It was gut-wrenching to write and read. Now, I had some of the many, many British people that I worked with asking why we cared, why I cared so much about this. So, first of all, it was because I worked so damn hard to get to where I was, and I was very happy all the time that Laurier gave me the tools to get there. But then, I spout some of the usual Canadian rhetoric about how we're the best, etc. But, it was kind of just like I said, it's a bit of an inferiority complex. We want to be the best. We always want to be the best. Now, here's my point. Apparently we weren't the best, at least this time. We'll get them next time. But when I was over there, I was working with the best. I was working alongside some of the best on the Olympic beat. Now, to underscore that point, something else the Brits and other nationalities came to realize about Canadians is that they swear a lot. A lot of the Canadians that I work with, a lot of four-letter words were uttered quite often, especially during a time when Canada was losing to USA. And so, I'm going to underscore what I just said with a four-letter word. I was working on the Olympic beat. It was incredible. I went to Laurier, wanted to do something in sports media industry, and now I've worked 2 Olympic Games. I've hosted national TV shows. I've hosted national radio shows. I work for a professional sports franchise. My face is on Instagram on some advertisements for various gambling companies. The tool chest was full when I left Laurier, and that tool chest has only been sharpened since. And so I'm proud to be a Laurier graduate. I will tell you that right now. And I also want all of this evening's recipients to know just how proud your alma mater is of you and how many of your accomplishments and contributions we appreciate. And so, as we kick this off, I'll wrap this up by saying congratulations. One more time, a round of applause for yourself. Great round of applause. This is off to a humdinger of a start. Do we like the old school journalism rhetoric? Oh, Doctor, we got one heck of an evening for you this evening, folks. Our first presenter, no, I won't do it that way. Finally, let's get a note of gratitude to TD Insurance for being the presenting sponsor of tonight's Awards of Excellence celebration. Thank you for making this evening's award show possible. We really appreciate it. Tonight, we're going to begin with celebrating this year's Laurier Philanthropy Award recipients. I'm going to ask Jackson. God, they got me to do one thing, and I got the first name wrong. One more time, because I met him earlier and he's a cool guy. It's a good joke if you know his last name. Jason Kuhlman, Vice President of the Advancement in External Relations. Bring greetings, and he's going to begin our award presentation. Jason, hello.
He was too focused on the great last name. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here with you celebrating Laurier's remarkable alumni and friends, and it's my pleasure to present this evening's first award, which is our Laurier Philanthropy Awards. This prestigious award is given annually to donors who exemplify a profound spirit of philanthropy and demonstrate a lasting dedication of connection to our mission, vision, and values at Laurier. In our roles here at Laurier, we have the privilege every day of seeing our students. It's even more privileged to see the impact that the donors' gifts make on these students and their success. I'm honored to be here this evening to recognize 2 very deserving recipients of the Laurier Philanthropy Award, both of whom have made significant contributions to Laurier through their time, resources, and talents. To begin, it is my pleasure to present the 2026 Philanthropy Award to the Race family, and tonight accepting that award is Phil Race. The Race family has been an active and engaged community member in both Brantford and Brant for over 2 generations, and have been dear friends to Laurier Brantford since our campus opened in 1999. Phil's father, John, was one of 3 siblings who grew up in the Brantford area. He believed deeply in supporting his community. In 2012, John and Hazel Race established an endowed award, the Race Family Accessibility Award, in recognition of their younger brother's determination and strong will to overcome his disability and successfully attain an education. The award provides financial assistance to Laurier Brantford students with disabilities to offset the cost of services and equipment needed to promote academic success. John and his wife Hazel also supported the Laurier Brantford YMCA project, helping to construct a new 120,000 square foot multi-story facility that serves both the students at Laurier and our community members alike. Since John's passing in 2014, his family has carried on his legacy of support. In 2016, on behalf of the Race family, Phil established the Race Family Undergraduate Research Apprenticeship Program, which provides funding to undergraduate students who seek training and mentoring in academic research skills. Similarly, the Race family significantly supports the annual Academic Creative Engaged Research Showcase, more commonly known as ACERS, and as someone actually pointed out to me, anagrammed race, so it's kind of cool that that's one of the things they support. This is a popular showcase of undergraduate research, encouraging research that goes beyond the classroom, often highlighting work related to community engagement and social issues. It offers over $5,000 in cash prizes. Since 2021, the Race family has also provided generous support for the Laurier Startup Lab in Brantford, formerly Launchpad Brantford, open to students from any program on the Brantford campus, as well as alumni and community. The Startup Lab helps innovators and entrepreneurs bring their ideas to life. Beyond their support of Laurier, the Race family is very active in the broader Brantford and Brant County communities. Phil is a member and past president of the Rotary Club of Brantford, Sunrise, and board member for both local Alzheimer's Society and the Alzheimer's Foundation Board. He currently serves on the board as a member for the Brantford Adult Recreation Therapy Center. Phil is also a great connector for Laurier Brantford campus, and he's always willing to share his time, attend events, and provide input into our continued growth and development in Brantford. Notably, Phil was instrumental in connecting Laurier to the Jaroslawski Foundation and helping secure the funding for the creation of the Jaroslawski Chair in Sustainable Water Futures. This endowed chair focuses on sustainable resource management and adaptation to climate change, aligning with Laurier's focus on research excellence, environmental sustainability, and community partnerships. I would be remiss if I didn't note that the Race family didn't really want to accept the award. They really want to be supporters in the background. But we're very grateful tonight that we could spotlight the many contributions that they've made to Laurier and Brantford. So it's now my pleasure to invite Phil to the stage to accept the Philanthropy Award.
Thank you, and as Jason said, I don't want to be here. It's not that I don't want to be at the event, I don't want to be here. So I want to thank Laurier for this recognition. I reluctantly accept it on behalf of our Race family. Accompanying me here tonight is my wife Paula and my oldest son Craig. Unfortunately, my cousin Amanda Piper, who was involved with the first donation along with my father, was unable to attend. I cannot emphasize enough that this is a legacy involvement. that it was initiated by my father about 14 years ago here in Brantford. My father never finished high school, yet alone attended post-secondary, but he certainly understood the importance. He was called to join the Canadian Forces near the end of World War II, so he left high school before he finished. And when he came back, he did not see action when he was in England at the end of the war. And when he came back, he went to work instead of going back to school. He eventually had some good success in business, and fortunately taught me to give back as I am able. He set a great example. He started working for a land development company in Toronto, and then when I was 10 years old, with about 1 month's notice, we moved to Norfolk County where he became a ginseng farmer. I went from a school of 1,100 kids from kindergarten to grade 6 to a 2-room school that had 8 grades in it. Bit of a culture shock. And he also invested with some partners in some development projects and did well, and set the good example of spending less than you make. As I said, he recognized the importance of post-secondary education, but also that many rural and farm families could not afford post-secondary for their kids. Couldn't afford to go to a school, and many of the farm teenagers, young adults, were needed on the farm during planting and harvesting season. They couldn't do without them. So when Fanshawe College announced they were building a Simcoe campus, he immediately established a permanently endowed award. Laurier opened in 1999, and in 2012, Dad began our involvement with the Laurier campus in Brantford and established the Race Family Accessibility Award. We've since grown our involvement to include the Race Family Undergraduate Research Program and the Startup Lab in Brantford, and we're happy to do so and work with some very, very impressive people that are your leaders down in Brantford. We continue a legacy done by my father. Sadly, my mother suffered with Alzheimer's for the last 10 years of her life and passed away in 2011. So while Dad discussed every decision with him, it was really him, not her. And my mother actually went to university. I don't think it lasted long. I know it was in Montreal, and it was a pre-med stream. Very, very intelligent woman, but for whatever reason at the time chose to come home and be, Dad worked and Mom was at home with me. Not part of my prepared speech, but I want to tell a very quick story that I was reminded of tonight. Dr. Ken Werbin from the Brantford Cabinets reminded me of a student who participated in the ACERS program, I don't know how many years ago, 5, doesn't matter. This young man was very, very intelligent, but he was on probation and likely heading down a path that would have him in jail. Ken and some other leaders saw something in him, so he had participated in the ACERS program, and it lit a fuse. He's just completed his master's in Toronto and about to enroll in his PhD. One person. You don't want or need advice from me, and I certainly understand that most students graduate with debt and face significant obstacles, beginning careers, and in many cases, relationships and families. But I urge you to give back as you are able. Perhaps it's service, not money, but be aware of your success and boost others. You are being recognized because you are the best amongst your peers. Enjoy it, celebrate it, but do so with humility and understand there are many ways, big and small, that you can make a difference in other lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Phil. And the remarks remind me of, it's not about the accolades, it's about the impact. And so that one example of that one student is only one of many based on the philanthropy that you and your family have had. So we're deeply grateful, and we're glad that you accepted our offer to finally come and be honored as is appropriate. So I have a really set of mixed up notes here. But I'm very excited about welcoming a second person to accept the Philanthropy Award. And I've had the privilege of knowing this individual since I arrived at Wilfrid Laurier. And as soon as I find all the great things I wrote about him, I will read them to you. And if I can't find them, to be honest, I know this gentleman so well, I could just recite them off of my head. So our next Philanthropy winner is Brian Penman. Brian Penman is from Milton, Ontario. When I arrived at Wilfrid Laurier, I was asked to help us launch a campus in Milton. The very first person that I was asked to go meet with was Brian Penman. And I know why that was important, and it's because Brian knows Milton like no one else. He is a Laurier graduate, and since our very first meeting, Brian said, whatever I can do to help you in Milton, I'll help you. So before we had the campus, in fact, the first 2 years of his support were just straight dollars that we could spend in any way that we wanted, just to get things going. There's nothing to give to yet because it doesn't exist, but give it to Laurier and get going. And then the next 2 years, as we started the campus, he gave the inaugural scholarships that we used to recruit our students to the campus in Milton. And this past year, he upped that support as we launch our engineering programs in Milton. So we'll have our first class coming in this fall, and Brian's support has helped us to recruit those students. His CV in Milton is long, and that's why I was introduced to Brian. He is currently the chair of the Milton District Hospital Foundation. He's led the largest campaign in their history. From 1976 to 2012, he was a town councillor, playing an important role in shaping the development of the town, including wanting to bring higher education to town. Until 2000, he was the chair of Conservation Halton and was instrumental in acquiring large numbers of lands that are significant natural lands now in Milton in the conservation area. He was a board member and director and chair of the board at Milton Hydro, and in 2015, he was recognized by the Milton Chamber of Commerce as a Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Brian is extremely passionate about education. He is passionate about Laurier, and he's very passionate about us continuing to grow our footprint in Milton. So for all of those reasons and his great and tremendous support for both giving us the money and the connections in the community to make it happen, I'm honored to welcome my friend and alumnus, Brian Penman, to accept his philanthropy award.
Good evening, all. When I was a child, many of my stories began with once upon a time. So let's not change tradition. And I may change from third person to first person, but you'll pardon that. Once upon a time, there was a young farm lad who had graduated from grade 13 Burlington Central High School. And he had three passions: cars, football, and Saturday night. I can assure you, no scholar. But my passion and direction was to become a commercial pilot. And so I set out for the next year and a half to achieve a private pilot's license, a night rating, instrument ticket, and a lot of cross-country flying. I flew everywhere in Ontario, but almost all of the eastern seaboard of the United States, to Key West, to the Caribbean, and to the unpleasantness in Cuba. Shortly after the Bay of Pigs, and I watched the Soviet participation in redefining Cuba. So, I came home with a credential of 300 or 400 hours of flying, only to discover that there were no jobs. Pilots who had been left over from World War II had had significant training, and they took all the jobs. RCAF wouldn't have me unless I would fly a Lancaster bomber in coastal reconnaissance, and that didn't appeal. But fortunately, I had a mentor. And the mentor took me aside and said, Brian, you have to get an education. So like so many in this audience, you'll all recall these moments. You put a resume and support letters and transcripts together, sometimes for undergraduates, sometimes for masters, sometimes for PhDs. So I sent them off, and that's a very tough moment after you've sent all those applications off. You feel like someone else far away is assessing who you are and what you are. But one letter came back quickly, and it was from Waterloo Lutheran. And being a farm boy, I liked the KW connection. I liked the farmland around it. And even though, believe it or not, I had some urban university acceptance, I chose Lutheran. Now, don't forget, all I know is flying. So here I am selecting courses. And what the hell do I know? There are other kids who are signing up like religiously. They have a definition of their future that's like a climax almost. 4 years and they're going to be an A or a B or a C. And quite frankly, that didn't interest me. I did not want an education that converged. I wanted divergence. So what did I take? I took business, I took economics, I took geology, I took geography, I took French literature, English, history, philosophy, and I ended up with 4 years of an amazing education. It wasn't convergent. I wasn't an A or a B or a C, but rather I was prepared for another 3 years of graduate work. I was prepared for 30 years in education, 30 years in politics, 30 years in environment, 20 years in hydro. But what the hell did I know about hydroelectricity? And here I'm a chair. So how do I explain this? Well, I attribute it to that geometry of divergence and the fact that I had wonderful young faculty at Lutheran. They were passionate, and they touched two things in me: my mind for thinking and my heart. And any university that's worth its money has to touch both of those things, your mind and your heart. And Laurier is great at doing exactly that. So I was coming out of a planning meeting in Milton. Come on up. And the then CEO, Mario Belvedere, said, you know, with our growth, we should have a full-blown campus here in Milton. And that resonated with some of us. And we sought consultants and finances and planners and developers. And the Education Village came into being, now with 200 cohorts at 555 at Industrial, a future potential campus of maybe 4,000 or 5,000 students. Just imagine. And it's all because of my education. Well, not all of it, but obviously some of it is because I was so well educated, and it turned my life around. So, class of 65. Now, I have to clarify, that's not 1865, that's 1965. Thank you for this recognition. I will continue my support till my dying day, because this has been such a big part of my life. So Jason, thank you for the introduction.
Thank you, Brian, and thanks to the Race family, both extremely deserving award winners this evening. And now I will pass the podium back to our MC to take us to the next portion of the program.
One more time for Brian Penman, everybody. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I honestly thought it was class of 1865 until he clarified. Honestly did. So thank you very much for clarifying that for us, Brian, as I figure out where we're going next. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, as I was chatting with Brian earlier, and I've never felt cooler than when he walked up the stairs and I got to give him a fist bump. So thank you, Brian. Appreciate the fist bump. You're a beauty. Appreciate it. Also, congratulations to the Race family. Very nice. Thank you, Jason. Jason. Nailed that. I feel like I'm getting a lot better now. Thank you very much. Okay, before we begin handing out the Awards of Excellence, we would like to take a moment to thank a long-time Wilfrid Laurier University Alumni Association Director for their long service and contributions, not only to Wallua, I was going to say W-L-U-A-A all night. Derek told me not to. Wallua, thank you. But also to the greater Laurier community. I will invite Wallua President Candace Joseph to the stage to recognize this service to Laurier. Everybody welcome Candace up.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, so thank you, Kevin, and hello, everyone. I'm Candace Joseph, President of the Alumni Association and a graduate of class of 2016. It is my pleasure to invite Cynthia Sundberg to the stage to accept a token of our appreciation. Cynthia. Cynthia served a total of 10 years on the Alumni Association Board as director and 6 years as the Alumni Association's representative on the Laurier's Board of Governors. Cynthia has also served on the Dean of Arts External Advisory Council. A passionate alumni speaker to many convocation ceremonies, career events, toast to the class, and a Wallua Board representative event attendee to too many events to count, Cynthia has been a valued and active, engaged director. Cynthia, thank you for gifting your alma mater with your valued time and expertise over the past 10 years. Now, it's my great pleasure to begin the Wilfrid Laurier University Alumni Association's Awards of Excellence by presenting our first Alumni of Excellence Award to the Student Alumnus of the Year. Since 1996, the Wilfrid Laurier University Alumni Association has awarded the Student Alumni of the Year Award to acknowledge the work of a student or students who have been instrumental in building bridges between current students, alumni, and the university. This year, we celebrate Jesalayomi Ojutaleo. Jesalayomi is an outstanding Golden Hawk, a student athlete, and leader whose accomplishments reflect a deep commitment to excellence, service, and community. As a standout member of the Golden Hawks football program, Jesalayomi distinguished himself as one of the top competitors in the province, earning recognition as a 2025 OUA First Team All-Star, 2024 UTEC Bowl champion, and 2024 Yates Cup champion. His outstanding dedication and performance were further recognized through receiving one of Laurier Athletics' most prestigious honors in both 2023 and 2024, the Bill Hagstrom Trophy. Jesse Ulomi's leadership within the football program itself has been exemplary. It's a long list, y'all, so lock in. He has served as a two-time team captain, where he earned the trust and respect of teammates and coaches thanks to his integrity and commitment to fostering a strong and supportive team culture. He consistently modeled perseverance, humility, and discipline, a truly positive influence on younger student athletes that also serves to strengthen the broader Golden Hawks community. Off the field, Jesse Ulomi demonstrated meaningful leadership through his role as co-chair of the More Space, Better Space student referendum campaign, which advocated for enhancements to athletics and recreation facilities on Laurier's Waterloo campus. The campaign successfully secured more than 70% student support in a referendum vote to introduce an athletics and recreation fee. The new fee is covering significant upgrades to student spaces, including improved fitness facilities, enhanced studies areas, accessibility improvements, and upgraded athletic infrastructure. His involvement helped advance a student-driven initiative that will positively impact generations of Golden Hawks. Reflecting his commitment to improving the student experience and contributing to the long-term vitality of Laurier's campus community. Jesse Ulomi's excellence has also been celebrated nationally through invitations to the College Gridiron Showcase and the CFL Combine, underscoring his continued pursuit of growth while representing Laurier with distinction on broader stages. Respected for both his achievements and his character, Jesse Ulomi embodies the spirit of mentorship, leadership, and service that defines the Laurier community. As one nominator shared, Jesse Ulomi represents the very best of Wilfrid Laurier University. His accomplishments, leadership, and ongoing connection to the Laurier community make him an exceptionally deserving recipient of the Student Alumnus of the Year Award. His contributions have left a lasting impact on teammates, peers, and the student experience, making him an exceptionally deserving recipient today. Please join me in congratulating Jesse Ulomi on his achievements and for the positive difference he has made in the Laurier community. Now, Jesse Ulomi is unable to join us tonight because he was drafted by the Calgary Stampeders. And he has a game tomorrow. But we are pleased to be joined by his mother, Evie Dapo, and to welcome both Evie Dapo and Coach Todd Galloway, Laurier's manager, men's football operations, and head coach of the Laurier Golden Hawks, to accept his award.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Lyle. I'm Yoji Lyle. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there with you guys today, but I want to say I'm greatly appreciative to the fact to receive this award. To be nominated is just a pleasure, and then also to win. I had the pleasure of meeting my my current teammate, Valentine, who won the award last year. He allowed me to understand the significance of the award, even though I'm not able to be there with you guys to talk about it. He helped me understand what it means, and the fact that I was able to be seen in this light in the community is just something I'm very grateful for. I want to thank my coaching staff that allowed me to help me grow as an individual, help me grow as a leader. My parents, who helped me from when I was young. They're one of the reasons why I'm the type of person I am. They helped me so much. And then my friends as well, because my parents always said, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So I'm just very happy that my friends were able to keep me on the right path and the right direction. And just say thank you to the Laurier community as a whole. Laurier, everyone looks at a small school, but our heart that we have here at Laurier is it's something strong. And I just want to say I'm forever golden. I'm very happy to be a part of the Laurier alumni community, and thank you so much.
I'm up here because she really doesn't want to talk. Really just, and Naomi kind of laid it out, the university is very fortunate to have a lot of these young men, and I don't think a lot of people know how much they go through as student athletes. They carry the full course load, they have all the expectations of every other student, and as a football player, he's also asked to do 35 to 40 hours of football per week on top of that. And so it takes a special person that's willing to commit the time to some of the committees and some of the community initiatives that he was also doing on top of that. And he's one of several that we have as student athletes on this campus, and he is a future star. And so very excited. If you get a chance to watch him tomorrow night, turn on TSN. And we're very, very excited for Liam. We'll make sure he gets this award. Thank you.
So I want to say again, thank you to Jesse Ulomi for all that he's done to champion Laurier. We are very proud to welcome to the alumni family, and we look forward to his continued success and his wins on the gridiron. I am now pleased to present the Entrepreneurial Spirit Awards. This award recognizes alumni from any faculty to their outstanding work as a business founder or entrepreneurial leader. Tonight, we are proud to recognize 3 deserving alumni who all graduated from the Lazaridis School of Business and Economics, which is celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. To begin, I am honored to recognize Pavan Konanur, a BBA graduate from 2006, as a recipient of the Entrepreneurial Spirit Award. Pavan's career spans internationally recognized organizations including Procter & Gamble, Unilever, and Amazon, as well as leadership roles supporting some of Europe's fastest growing startups. Pavan holds an MBA from INSEAD, a BBA from Wilfrid Laurier University, and is currently based in London, UK. Thank you for coming. What makes Pavan especially remarkable is his ability to pair strategic business expertise and hands-on operating experience with a genuine commitment to education, mentorship, and innovation, and a passion for developing the next generation of business talent. Pavan was co-founder and CEO of Hoja, an AI-powered edtech platform designed to support high school students. He helped grow the platform to more than 100,000 downloads, demonstrating both his entrepreneurial vision and a commitment to improving learning outcomes for young people. Beyond building companies, Pavan has dedicated significant time to developing future leaders and innovators. For 6 years, he served as a lecturer at ADA, the National College for Digital Skills in the UK. In his role, he teaches technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. He's also an active angel investor and advisor. With a global portfolio that spans AI, climate tech, fintech, and edtech, Pavan has served as a fractional CXO to a range of high-growth companies operating across marketing, sales, operations, and finance to help founders build and scale their businesses. And his achievements have been recognized internationally. For example, Pavan was named Exceptional Tech Talent at the UK government, by the UK government through the Tech Nation Visa program. Despite his global success, Pavan has remained deeply connected to Laurier. As chair of the London Dean's Advisory Council, he continues to give back to the university community through leadership, mentorship, and strategic guidance. As one nominator shared, Pavan is not only deserving of the award for his achievements, he's a truly outstanding Golden Hawk in how he has given back to the school. On a recent visit, he spoke to an entrepreneurship class, mesmerizing, inspiring, and being an engaging role model for the students. Pavan has given his time, his attention, and his entrepreneurial spirit to support his alma mater. Pavan exemplifies the entrepreneurial spirit Laurier is proud to celebrate. Innovative, collaborative, globally minded, and committed to creating meaningful impact for others. Please join me in celebrating Pavan, recipient of the Entrepreneurial Spirit Award.
Hi everyone, thank you to Laurier, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. Every time I get to step my feet back into this school, it just brings so much joy. I'll be brief because I don't know how long my daughter can last me up here. You know, I wanted to start by just saying that I think I ended up at Laurier by accident, but some accidents were meant to be. My high school basketball coach asked me why I was enrolled in kinesiology, pre-med, and said, you should be in business. And I listened to my high school basketball coach and enrolled at Laurier. And here I am today. An accident by many regards, maybe, but true blessing in many others. The day I stepped foot at Laurier, I was just amazed. The culture, the spirit, the school, the students, the people, the teachers, the staff who I still keep in touch with, Kate and Laura right there, have always just been so special. A school where you have to apply to volunteer and get rejected numerous times over is something special. It doesn't make sense, and it's one that I will always think about. I've been able to go many places and do many things, but I've been very humbled by what the school gives me, the community, the friends I have 20 plus years later, and everything that it's offered me and continues to offer me. So the least I can do is come back and give back, and hope from everything I've heard, everyone here has the same spirit and always will. So thank you, and hope we can all keep contributing and keep innovating so my daughter and everyone else's families and kids can have a better future. Thank you.
Everyone's taller than me, so I have to readjust this. Okay, so congratulations to Pavan, and thank you for being here. So you flew a long way, and we're so glad you can make it. Knowing entrepreneurship is an area in which Laurier alumni really shine. It is my great honor to share two additional recipients of the 2026 Entrepreneurial Spirit Award tonight. Jenny Bird, Adam Cohn, this one's for you. Laurier alumni and life partners Jenny Bird and Adam Cohn have built one of North America's leading contemporary jewelry and lifestyle brands entirely on their own terms, without a single dollar of outside funding. Together, they transformed Jenny's creative vision into the internationally recognized brand Jenny Bird, known for its statement-making sculptural designs worn by influential figures including Michelle Obama and Selena Gomez, and featured in top publications from Vogue to Forbes. These two Laurier alumni have combined their creativity and business expertise to grow a globally respected Canadian company, one where Jenny leads brand and design, and John lays the operational and financial foundation that has made sustainable growth possible. Their entrepreneurial journey is a story of resilience and reinvention, including a pivotal shift from contemporary luxury handbags to jewelry during the 2009 recession. Their work has earned national recognition, including Jenny being named Canada's Accessory Designer of the Year by the Canadian Arts and Fashion Awards in 2017, and the company being recognized among Canada's top growing female-led businesses by the Globe and Mail earlier this year. The brand has also earned prestigious rankings on both the W100 and Profit 500 lists. The company has been designated as a great place to work, reflecting founders' shared commitment to exceptional workplace culture. There are some employees here, I love that. Beyond their business success, Jenny and Adam are deeply committed to social impact through their philosophy of kind profiteering, donating 1% of every sale to initiatives supporting women, mental wellness, and mentorship opportunities through their Possibilities Fund. Together, they exemplify the power of creativity, partnership, entrepreneurial courage, and values-driven conscious leadership, making Laurier proud in Canada and around the world. Please join me in congratulating Jenny Bird and Adam Cohn, both class of '99 graduates, as 2026 recipients of the Entrepreneurial Spirit Award.
Thank you so much. We look a little bit older than that picture. I remember us thinking we had a son who was 2, and we were like, are we crazy building this company? But hello, good evening. It's so special to be here and walk the campus. It was like my mom said, like, you guys should come here with the kids. We should. This is where we met and fell in love. We'll get into that story a little bit.
Really?
No. Well, not the details, I guess. But for me, it's just thinking about what to share tonight. And I think you have to see, one of the things I just had no idea is how much work it would actually take to see this idea into a successful company. It was relentless, a relentless pursuit. No one can actually prepare you for the amount of hard work and grit it takes to start something from nothing. And I think on reflection, it started for me because I saw the value of hard work and persistence up close. My dad was an entrepreneur. Just like Phil and Brian, I was a rural girl. So Waterloo was definitely intriguing to me because it wasn't too big of a city. But I saw my dad, who against most odds, began an insurance business in Elora. And at that stage in my life, I was Tom Bird's daughter. Now, as he's come to know, he's like, oh, I didn't know you were Jenny Bird's dad. So the tables have turned. But, I thought in partnership, I saw my parents work so hard to be able to give my sister and I the opportunities that they didn't have as rural kids growing up on farms who we was just mentioning earlier. It's interesting, there's so many relatable anecdotes who were needed on the farm and weren't encouraged to go to post-secondary, nor were given the support to do that. So it was a really big achievement for them to be able to send us to such a prestigious institution. And then for me personally, it was really hard to get into the BBA here. It was my first big achievement of working hard and achieving something to get into the program. And so I came to Conrad Hall from the fields outside of Elora. And I remember this traffic light right here and thinking, I don't know if I could sleep here. It's such a big city. Like, it was like, which is not lost on me that I just flew in from doing a photo shoot in Manhattan this week. And as I was in Manhattan, I was like, oh my God, this is just so cool to, you know, create this life. And it's worth every drop of sweat it took. But WLU really was my launching pad. You know, it opened up the world outside of Elora to me. Even Much Music, actually, as a side note. I remember going to Conrad's, like, communal, what's that room called on the floor? Like the common room. And Much Music was on, and I didn't have cable. And I was like, I was just like, the fashion, the pop culture, it was just like a brain explosion. But, you know, in all of the, like, also in just the formative experiences, like the co-op terms and what business jobs are really like, and then international business school, I went to Rouen 4th year, still have some of my best friends from that. It really did open up my eyes, and the big thing is open up many doors, right, that wouldn't have been opened before, and many doors, and it was sort of my choice of what to focus on getting through. So Adam and I met in environmental economics class. There was this handsome guy that I hadn't seen before because I was always at Wilfs and I was always at the Turret, and he was not ever out.
I was in the class though that she wasn't in. So.
Right, so I asked him to borrow his notes. And then, you know, the first study date happened, and then, you know, a year on again, off again, romantic relationship until finally, which is what our friends all said, finally, in our early 30s, we got married in Toronto. And then, you know, if I take us back, though, to that class, like, can you imagine 20 years, like, when we were our 20-year-old selves saying, like, you guys are going to own and run a jewelry company one day? Like, well, yeah. It wasn't even on our radar. So I think that was one of the striking observations I had, actually, on reflecting about tonight, is that there is this, I hadn't really thought about becoming a founder when I was here. It wasn't till a few years after this, because I was just so focused on what area of business should I go in, how do I get that great co-op job, you know, what's the best corporate job on graduating, and how can I get that? It was all about that. But the option to be a founder, the idea that I could be one, that came later. But I think the idea is this concept of dormant potential, and that power sitting in the wings of every student that's just waiting to be activated with belief in themselves. And that potential I had, but I didn't even realize I had. Like, one of my girlfriends, my best girlfriends actually from my international business school adventure, Jennifer Robinson, who also is an alumni here, obviously, she just said to me today, oh my God, Bird, congratulations. Like, who would have thought that little Jenny Bird and Adam, like, would go on to build this empire? And I was just like, yeah, and I think about us. I think about the us's of today and how so important it is not to overlook that. What I mean is not to overlook the knowing that the student body is brimming with potential, right? Especially today when, like, the reliable career path no longer exists, but many of them have that special grit, work ethic, and innovative thinking, and we just need to make sure that we help them see that in themselves, and we just need to help them dare to dream a little bigger. I had someone do that for me, which gave me the bravado to build this life for myself around when I was 25. You know, I had two sides of the brain, a right and a left, and I wanted a career that would be fulfilling to both of those. And so I was just a little bit itchy in the regular marketing career. So after my first failed attempt at 25 to start the brand in 2002, I tried again when I turned 30. And then with the help of Adam, we were able to both leave our day jobs behind and really build this dream life. So as a young married couple, we did build this from scratch, from the ground up. I mean, of course, the typical stories of many long days, nights, late nights, pinching pennies, whatever it took to keep the dream alive.
Yeah, and while Jenny was building up the design, the marketing, and the brand, I sort of overtook sorry, can you hear me? I overtook the operations and finance part, and I'm not going to thank you, Candace, but Candace has gone through 90% of the stats that I was going to read to you guys. But I just wanted you all to know 65% of our business is outside of Canada. We sell to over 400 retailers around the world and 14 different countries. Our business is based on 2 revenue models. 30% are wholesale and 70% are direct to consumer online. We have 70 strong staff. Our staff are incredible, and 90, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's 5 males. I'm one of them. So 65%, or 65 out of 70 are female. We have an all-female C-suite. We show our collections annually to buyers at over 12 fashion markets a year, including Paris, London, New York, and LA. We've been extremely fortunate to be part of the wardrobe of many A-list celebs. Candace mentioned a bunch: Emily Blunt, Kate Hudson, Jennifer Lopez, Selena Gomez, Tessa Virtue, Hailey Bieber, the list goes on. We are, and most recently, and the most recent award that we were given was, we were ranked 18 by the Global Males Report on Business for Canada's top growing female-led companies. So yeah, that was
thank you. So, but I think, you know, and Phil was sharing this, and I don't know where you are, Phil, if I can, out there. Share that value with you and my family. We share that for us, you know, success is meaningless unless it's used to uplift others that haven't been as fortunate as me. And so Adam and I have dedicated a percentage of sales, which has really compounded over the years, to be able to donate to create a possibilities fund. So it's just up to $600,000 that we've donated to date to our own programs for women, donating to different stages of women's in need, whether they need diapers, they need to help support, that we need to help support them in fleeing domestic abuse over COVID. There was a lot of needs, of course, and now in mentoring the next generation so they can like activate their dormant potential, wherever they're from, so that they can create jobs and help others do the same. So the Possibilities Fund is really the raison d'etre for me to keep this growing. It's beyond my successful dreams at this point. So we get up every day and pursue that for the legacy for our children. So that's super exciting. When I think of my 20-year-old self, I guess, walking these halls, I'm just extremely proud of what we've built and where it's going. You know, I'm not one to need the public notoriety of an award, but what I do appreciate about it is it made me stop this week, you know, spend time with my parents, come here and sit in the accomplishment for a minute and really reflect on it. It helps you also as a founder decide how you want to take it forward, because it gives you some clarity. So I thank Laurier for that tonight, the nominating committee, and for making this moment in time for us so we could do that. And for the incredibly valuable 4 years that kicked off what ended up becoming my path, and for my husband. Just one final note, I just wanted to say congratulations to the other winners tonight.
So congratulations again, and thank you to Jenny and Adam. It is now my pleasure to welcome Kevin Ladd to present our next award.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Ladd. As Candace mentioned, I am the Vice President and Secretary on the Wilfrid Laurier University Alumni Association and a BBA class of 2001 grad. And I'm very, very, very excited to be here with you. What I thought, we're pretty much the halfway point. I wonder if we can just get a big round of applause for all of our winners so far. I mentioned to somebody tonight, every time I leave this award ceremony, I'm inspired. And that's the word that always sticks in my head. Some of the stories are great. So today, I'm honored to present the Award for Community Impact. This award is given annually to honor outstanding achievement by a Laurier graduate who is fostering a better world through local, national, or international initiatives as a volunteer, advocate, or employee. Tonight, it's my privilege to present this honor to Tina Eldridge. Masters of Social Work class of 2018. Tina Eldridge is an accomplished social worker, educator, and advocate. Her work advances transformative justice and supports individuals experiencing significant marginalization, including those impacted by incarceration, homelessness, drug use, and sex workers. After beginning her academic journey through Laurier's Walls to Bridges program, which was founded here at Laurier in 2011 by Dr. Shoshana Pollock, Tina completed a Bachelor of Arts in Women's Studies while incarcerated at Grand Valley Institution for Women. Upon her release, Tina went on to complete the Assaulted Women's and Children's Counselor/Advocate program at George Brown College in 2015, and finally, a Master's of Social Work at Laurier in 2018. Tina has since become a respected leader in the field, developing Canada's only sex worker case management program and contributing to the development of a National Prison Health Council. As Executive Director of Rittenhouse, Tina has raised more than $400,000 to support individuals transitioning from prison and has helped create innovative training programs that provide incarcerated women with transferable, employment-ready skills rooted in transformative justice. Tina continues to support the women at Grand Valley Institution for Women in Kitchener, including her work to develop and co-facilitate a 4-day certificate in transformative justice. Serving as Canadian chapter lead for Global Freedom Scholars, Tina also contributes her expertise through teaching and training and has facilitated workshops at Laurier and across Canada. A sought-after facilitator, speaker, and research collaborator, Tina regularly delivers workshops on criminalization and education, mental health, and justice reform. Her work reflects a deep commitment to structural equity, decolonization, and community collaboration, bringing honor to Laurier and making a lasting impression. In the words of one nominator, Tina's professional accomplishments demonstrate exceptional leadership and innovation in the fields of social work, community mental health, and social justice practice. Tina's sustained and meaningful contributions to community have had a profound impact on criminalized peoples. Her ongoing engagement with Laurier as an alumna embodies Laurier's values, and her work exemplifies the spirit of excellence, service, and leadership that this award seeks to recognize. Tonight, it is my honor to present the Alumni Award for Excellence for Community Impact to Tina Eldridge.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's really an honor to receive this reward. I became involved with the Walls to Bridges program while I was incarcerated in Grand Valley Institution, and I can honestly say the only reason I'm on this stage is because of the people that supported me in running the program and encouraging me to take the program, being my colleague and my classmate and my cheerleader all the way. And I'm very proud and honored to receive the award, but it's on behalf of everybody that stood behind me to achieve these achievements. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina, and congratulations on receiving this well-deserved award. The Young Alumna of the Year Award was created to recognize the outstanding achievements by an alum of any Laurier program who is 35 years of age or younger. This year, we are pleased to present the Young Alumna of the Year Award to an incredibly deserving recipient, Katerina Guimond, Bachelor of Music, class of 2015. Katarina is an internationally acclaimed composer and is widely considered one of the most compelling voices in contemporary Canadian music. Her work has been described as radiant, emotionally rich, and deeply expressive, captivating audiences and critics alike. Since graduating from Laurier, Katarina has composed nearly 90 original works. Her music is performed and recorded by professional ensembles around the world, and has been heard on some of the most prestigious stages, including Carnegie Hall and the Sydney Opera House. And she's watching right now on our live stream, so. Widely recognized for her originality, artistic depth, and creative range, Katarina has earned numerous commissions, awards, and international recognition. Her body of work is both expansive and diverse, reflecting a distinctive voice that continues to shape the choral and contemporary music landscape. Beyond her professional achievements, Katarina is deeply committed to community and mentorship. She supports emerging artists through organizations such as Myriad Ensemble, Arcady Ensemble, and the Canadian Music Centre, and brings a collaborative, inclusive spirit to all aspects of her work. Despite her extraordinary success, Katarina remains grounded, humble, and closely connected to her Laurier roots. She often credits her time at Laurier's Faculty of Music with helping her find her voice and laying the foundation for her career. Through her artistry, leadership, and global impact, Katarina brings great honor to Laurier and truly exemplifies what Laurier aims to impart to all of its graduates, the value of living a life of purpose and one filled with inspiration. Please join me in congratulating Katarina Guimond, the 2026 recipient of the Young Alum of the Year Award. As I mentioned, Katarina is currently living in Vancouver with a new baby, and she is joining us through the live stream, but in her place, we want to welcome her mom, Marta, to come forward to accept this award.
The Laurier Young Alumna of the Year Award. I'm sorry I can't be there today. I recently welcomed a new baby, so life is a little different these days, but I'm super grateful to my nominators for this award, Tracy Wong and Matthew Emery, as well as my Laurier community for this incredible recognition. My time at Laurier was super pivotal to my artistic voice, discovering that, as well as my career development. It was such a nourishing place to grow as an artist and an individual, and I know I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that. So all that to say, thank you so much. This award means the world to me.
The next award is the Alumna of the Year. Something different this year. To help us present the Alumna of the Year Award will be a representative from our presenting sponsor, TD Insurance. We've got Max, the Assistant Vice President of Relationship Management, the Affinity Marketing Group. So thank you for TD Insurance for the support of tonight's event and their ongoing partnership. Come on. Thanks, Max. The designation of Alumna of the Year is granted to alumni who have brought honor to Laurier and its community of alumni, students, faculties, and staff through significant and often selfless contributions to Laurier and/or the local, provincial, national, and international communities. This year, we recognize one such person, Rachel Fan, Bachelor of Arts, class of 2011. Rachel is the author of the best-selling memoir, Restaurant Kid, as this year's recipient of the Alumni of the Year Award. A 2011 graduate of Laurier's journalism program, Rachel is a powerful and distinctive voice in Canadian literature. And her writing, which was first shared in Laurier Brantford's student newspaper, The Sputnik, has since reached national and international audience through publications such as the Toronto Star, the Walrus, and the Washington Post. In 2025, her debut book, Restaurant Kid, a memoir of family and belonging, became an instant bestseller, and I highly recommend you read it. It's a good read. It was named one of CBC's best books of the year and longlisted for the 2026 Canada Reads competition. But Rachel's impact goes far beyond critical acclaim. Through her deeply personal storytelling, Rachel explores identity, belonging, and what it means to grow up as a third culture kid. Her work is honest, and it is precisely this honesty that allows her writing to resonate so widely. Her stories challenge us to reflect on our own assumptions, deepen our understanding of cultural identity, and consider how we can create more inclusive and compassionate communities. With the second book on the near horizon, officially, she's indicated, a month after homecoming, look out for it. That's in October. Her voice will continue to challenge, inspire, and shape important conversations with this next book. As one nominator shared, I am proud that Rachel is a Laurier alum and am inspired by all that she has accomplished with her first book alone. I know that Rachel will continue to produce important, thought-provoking work in the future that will continue to make Laurier and our alumni community immensely proud. Rachel Fan is an outstanding member of the Laurier alumni community, and through her courage, creativity, and impact, she brings great honor to Laurier. Please join me in congratulating Rachel Fan, recipient of the 2026 Alumni of the Year Award of Excellence. Congratulations.
Incredibly short, so we're gonna just do this. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it short because I'm an author. I'm used to being in my pajamas looking like a gremlin in my little office. I'm not used to speaking in front of people like this, so first, thank you so much to the Wilfrid Laurier University Alumni Association, the selection committee, the wonderful people who nominated me, and everyone here tonight. It's an incredible honor to receive the Alumna of the Year Award. When I first arrived at Laurier Brantford as a 19-year-old, I was honestly pretty clueless. I had been babied my whole life. I didn't know how to cook, clean, or do laundry. I remember my mom packing me a big bag of coins for laundry and me promptly turning to my roommate and saying, "I'll pay for the laundry if you do it." And while she did agree, I'm happy to report I did eventually learn how to wash and dry my own clothes in second year. Laurier was the place where I truly learned how to be an adult, or at least a prototype of one. I learned independence here, I learned resilience here, I learned countless lessons here that I'd one day write about in my first book, and also in my second book. And somewhere along the way, I also learned how to believe in myself. Growing up, I never really thought I had a voice worth listening to. I couldn't imagine a world where my stories or my perspective would matter to people. But as a journalism student and as an editor at the Sputnik, I was surrounded by professors, mentors, editors, and peers who encouraged me to keep going. They gave me feedback that made me sharper, validation that made me braver, and opportunities that really helped me come into my own as a writer. And honestly, without that encouragement, it's very possible I would not be standing here today as a published author. I could have easily given up and forged a different, more silent, less fulfilling path. So this award feels very full circle to me because this community helped shape not only my career, but also my sense of self. It's true that even a few people believing in you can change the course of your life, and that is what the Laurier community has given to me. There's so many people who helped get me to this point, but the two I want to thank most are here, my mom and dad, and I'm gonna try not to cry. No one else has cried yet today, and I'm not going to be the first. My parents survived a war. They survived being refugees, oh no. They survived starting over in a strange foreign land. They survived working 12-plus-hour days, 7 days a week, doing back-breaking work at our family restaurant for close to 4 decades and counting. And I'm grateful, Laurier, that you gave them a reason to actually close their restaurant today so they can come here. My parents did all of that. Also my siblings and I could have a chance at a better life. It's because of their hard work and sacrifices that we were the first generation in our family to attend and graduate from university. This award is as much theirs as it is mine. So thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you to my husband. Thank you to everyone here. This genuinely means the world to me. Thank you. I didn't cry.
I was hoping for a second when I walked out the award music would play. That would have been sweet. Hey, fun fact, Rachel and I graduated together. Can't help but notice I did not get a call about the Alumni of the Year Award. Then I thought, next year, thank you. Then I thought about actually how Rachel wrote in the Sputnik about important issues, and I was writing about how the Giants upset Tom Brady in the Super Bowl one year. And then I thought about how also, while Rachel's writing impactful books that are named CBC's list for best books of the year, the other night at Sportsnet I was writing a script about the Weenie 500, a race on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway track involving hot dog cars. So impactful, I get it. Anyways, congratulations, Rachel. Very nice. Really cool to see somebody who graduated. Get this, very cool. It is now my pleasure to call upon Kyle Walker, past president of the Wilfrid Laurier University Alumni Association, to present the Forever Golden Hawk and Honorary Alumnus of the Year Awards. Kyle, come on out.
Good evening. This is very special for me to get to present these next two awards. In 2009, 2010, I was fortunate enough to be a student leader on this campus and got to work with and learn a ton from these two next exceptional award winners. Experiences in my life that I'll be forever grateful for, including that infamous Dean's trip to Indiana. First, the Forever Golden Hawk Award. This award recognizes an outstanding alum for their long-term contribution to the Laurier community through their exceptional support, volunteerism, or service to the university, and I think in this case, all of the above. It is my honor to recognize this year's recipient of the Forever Golden Hawk Award from the class of 1988, Dan Dawson. Few individuals embody the spirit of Laurier as fully and authentically as Dan Dawson. Dan's lifelong dedication to Laurier started in 1985 when he arrived to Laurier as a BBA student, eventually graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree. Dan was a very engaged student. He worked at Wilf's, he served as a Don, and later took on the role of head resident at C.H. Littlehouse in Bricker. Upon graduation in 1989, Dan began a career with the Students' Union that covered close to 14 years. He was the manager of bar operations, pretty important job on campus, and became the general manager of the Students' Union for the next 6 years. In fact, since graduation, Dan has devoted his entire career to the Laurier community. He has served with integrity, humility, unwavering commitment to the Laurier community. Dan has helped guide Laurier through growth and times of challenge. He played a pivotal role in developing the student service fee model, supporting nationally recognized orientation program, and ensuring the seamless continuation of student services through the COVID pandemic. His leadership has always been thoughtful, steady, grounded in what's best for Laurier, and he has an extraordinary ability to connect with people, to mentor, to empower people, and to bring out the best in others. Long before student-centered became a best practice, Dan was living it as he encouraged students and staff to lead and believe in their own potential at Laurier. Generations of students, staff, and alumni credit Dan with helping them find their voice, their confidence, and their direction. He has a remarkable ability to create lifelong Golden Hawks from day one and for building meaningful connections that endure well beyond graduation. His commitment to Laurier extends far beyond his formal role, whether he is mentoring student leaders like myself, supporting colleagues, engaging with alumni, or even volunteering at convocation. Dan shows up again and again and again with genuine care and quiet dedication. While Dan never sought out recognition for his work at Laurier, in 2016, Dan received the Laurier President's Award, a testament to his exceptional leadership and service to Laurier. He also received the Lifetime Achievement Award presented by the Students' Union in 2000-2001, and the 2013 Alumni Award for Staff. Quite simply, Dan Dawson hasn't just worked at Laurier, he has helped build it. Through his leadership, his mentorship, and his enduring impact, Dan reflects the very best of what it means to be a Golden Hawk. As one nominator said, he is 100% forever a Laurier Golden Hawk. Please join me in congratulating Dan Dawson.
Thanks, Kyle. Oh, just gonna tip. Thank you so much for the recognition. I'm retiring tomorrow. So it's been a busy day. So Rachel, I might let you off the hook. I might take your problem off your hands for being the first one. Thanks especially to the nomination group and the selection committee. J.S. Ballascanthan, Devin Grady, Cam Ballantyne, Chris Hewitt and Mike Bartlett, Gareth Cunningham, and Annie Continenescu, all student leaders like Kyle. Joining me tonight is my wife Sue and my daughter Jessica. Our grandson Owen and my son-in-law Tyler were here earlier. It was a little too far past Owen's bedtime to be able to last this long. People like Fred Nichols, who is up on the screen behind me, Mike Belanger, my Don, Steve Benkowski, all people that set the standard. It's easy to be a Golden Hawk. Treat others as you want to be treated, lead with intent, being willing to pay it forward. And I think that's been a theme that's come across well tonight. I spent 13 years working, almost 14 as Kyle said, for the student union. It was, as I said earlier today, it was a roller coaster. Working in that organization, incredibly high highs, incredibly challenging lows sometimes, but my job was to try to keep things as steady as possible. As my career has progressed, I think what I've really tried to do, there's lots of people that graduate from here, but they don't necessarily stay connected. And I really tried to find a way, using my role as an employee, to try to keep people connected. So whether that was through events, sponsoring a table at the Outstanding Women of Laurier event, the football gala, trying to bring people back, expose them to what we experience every day from the inside, and then seeing it in people's eyes and their faces and going, holy crap, now I get it, because it reignites, as Jenny touched on earlier, some of those feelings that they had way back when. Because once you move away, it's harder to stay connected. So for me, my role, my job was one thing, but my role in trying to be a Forever Golden Hawk, I think was a little bit different in how I tried to embrace that. So I always tried to focus on what was best for Laurier and balance that with what was best for students. And those two things sometimes came into conflict with each other. But that was part of, I think, when you listen to people talk about kind of the secret sauce at Laurier, it's people that can meld those two things together that I think make the difference. And that's what keeps people connected. So my success, I think, resonates in a couple of just simple things. As was noted in the nomination, being willing to put your hand up and say, yes, I can help with that. And then doing it in a genuine way, being authentic. And, lastly, when it comes to student leaders, and I think this was touched on earlier, being able to guide them and watch for people that had potential and then try to help lift them up and put them on that path. And as I said earlier today, if there's one thing that I'm proud of, it's people saying, hey, we'll get Dan to help because he'll get shit done. And that to me has been one of the things that I've really tried to focus on and be genuine about. So this is very much appreciated. It's a perfect way to kind of cap off my Laurier career, and for that I'm very grateful. Thank you.
All right, it is my pleasure to present the final award this evening, and definitely a very significant one. It is my pleasure to recognize the 2026 Honorary Alumnus of the Year, David McMurray. David is a transformative leader whose decades of service to Laurier have shaped the fabric of this institution. Over a career spanning more than 25 years, including his role as Vice President, Student Affairs, David helped define Laurier's nationally recognized Student Affairs program and student experience. Under his leadership, student services were expanded, integrated, and strengthened. A respected leader in student affairs across Canada and North America, David's impact extends far beyond Laurier. He was the recipient of the Queen Elizabeth II Golden Jubilee Medal and the Caucus Award of Honor, recognizing his excellence and leadership in higher education. What truly sets David apart is how he led and how he continues to lead. With empathy, accessibility, and an unwavering commitment to others. Known affectionately by generations of students as Daddy Mac, he built a culture where students felt seen, supported, and empowered, something I could personally attest to as well. Even in retirement, David's dedication has never wavered to Laurier. He returned to Laurier in a time of transition to provide steady leadership and has made generous personal contributions to Laurier in support of student mental health, leadership development, and scholarships. Through his visionary leadership, his selfless service, and his lasting impact on thousands of students, David McMurray has brought extraordinary honor to Laurier and exemplifies the true spirit of an honorary alumnus. As one nominator explained, what truly sets David apart is not just the breadth of his administrative accomplishments, but the heart in which he carried them out with. He was not only a leader, but a trusted mentor, an advocate, and a friend to students, staff, and faculty alike. He championed open-door accessibility, personal connection, ensuring that students always felt seen, always felt heard, and always felt supported. His commitment to student well-being and success was not limited to his official duties. It was deeply personal to David, relational, and unmistakably transformative. The Laurier Honorary Alumnus Award of the Year is presented annually to an individual who has brought honor to Laurier and its community through significant contributions to the university or local, provincial, national, or international communities. And I think it's safe to say David brought that to all of those groups. This year's recipient could not be more deserving of this recognition. Congratulations, David McMurray.
you, Kyle, for those very humbling words. I am deeply honored. I have a thank you, I have a reflection, and I have a request. I'd like to thank Kate McCrae-Bristol for leading the nomination, and all those who provided support, and of course the Alumni Association Nomination Committee for my selection. I'm deeply touched. I'm deeply touched in particular with that thank you, because my entire life has been working for and with students, most of it at Laurier. I didn't realize that it was building, but in the 25 plus years that I was here, I never missed a convocation ceremony. Never had a toothache, a headache, or a bad day. Just managed to be there. That was very, very special, and as an honorary alumnus now, I feel more closely to those students than ever before. My reflection is, obviously speaking to the converted, when Laurier students greet each other, they look in their eyes and they say, we know. We know what the experience that we had and what it was all about, in and beyond the classroom. Deb McClatchy, our president, made me think about that even more so a short time ago, and this is my reflection. Since leaving Laurier last year, I think about it often and wonder about the years past, but I wonder about where it's going and will it be able to sustain the success of what I like to refer as the golden years. So at a reception where the Students' Union announced a $1.25 million contribution to student support and success, Deb got up and thanked them, and she thanked them by saying, you know, universities are like a stool. They have 3 legs: academic, research, and community outreach. And there was a pause in the crowd, and it was like we were waiting for something else. And she nailed it. She said, Laurier is more like a chair. It has a 4th leg, and it's all about students, their experience, their success, and how we support them, and all about their student experience. And I looked around the room, and all the smiles and the nods and the gratification that distinguishes this fabulous institution from everyone else. So my request is, whether you're an alumnus, a current staff member, faculty, or a student, we're all experts at something, and we've all got something to contribute. Think about your job and your role at Laurier and what it is that you do, and think about it again and what you might do in addition to what you already do, or do better, to make sure the legacy of Laurier as a place where we care about what happens in and beyond the classroom thrives, so that the lineups to get in and experience that, like so many thousands of others have, would continue. Thank you very much.
Still no award music. One more chance, I think. One more chance, I think, for me for the award music. Maybe? I see him back there. Maybe we might get it? Yes? I'm hearing yes. Excellent. Hey, wait. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, shout out to audio and visual tonight, by the way. Great job by everybody here. You as well, photographers, video, we all love you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, congrats to David and Dawn as well. Dan, pardon me. Dan retiring, buying drinks for everyone tonight. Appreciate that. We heard David talking about Dr. McClatchy. Well, I have a very special treat for everyone. Before we conclude tonight's formal remarks, it's my honor to invite Laurier's President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Deborah McClatchy, to the podium to share a few words. Dr. McClatchy.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and that was a little bit of a treat hearing David tell a story about me just before I came on, so now I can't tell that story, can I? So I'll go to the next page of my notes. No. I just want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. This is just one example of the important role that the Laurier's Alumni Association plays in strengthening our university community. So to Candace and all of Wallua, the outreach committee members who thoughtfully led the Alumni Awards selection process, and all the dedicated volunteer Wallua board members, thank you so much. Your alma mater is grateful for your time, your energy, and your passion. I want to say a special thank you to tonight's Laurier Philanthropy Award winners, to the Race family, and to Brian, who I just saw at a Laurier event in Milton on Tuesday night. We really want to celebrate and appreciate your generosity, and we are grateful to the meaningful difference you make as valued donors to Laurier. Thank you very much. And to all of tonight's Awards of Excellence recipients, thank you for exemplifying what it means to live lives of leadership and purpose. And you can see so many strings of continuity amongst all of the winners tonight about the kind of people that they are, the kind of impact that Laurier had when they were here, and the kinds of things that they have gone on to do. And it was just, it was amazing to be here to hear all of that. So it is an honor to be here tonight to recognize your achievements and to give this podium for your stories, students, alumni, and friends. I think there's many of us here who will just find real inspiration in your example. So congratulations once again. Thank you all for being here tonight with us.
One more time for Dr. McClatchy, everybody, come on. So, thank you everybody for attending. This has been awesome. Congratulations to all the award winners. Thank you very much to all the presenters. Kevin, great job. We talked about Kevin maybe having some wrestling music entrance. That'll be next year, along with my Alumni of the Year award. We will wait. Thank you everybody so much for doing this. This has been fantastic. This concludes the formal part of the evening. Dessert is now available in the atrium, and the bar is open. One more time, thank you very much. Round of applause for yourself. Play me out.